Welcome back, mamas. Y'all, today we are going to dive into planning. And let me just say, if planning is something that you resist, please go listen to Tuesday's episode because we talk all about why it's something you should actually embrace. And today we're going to get down to the nitty-gritty about how planning actually saves you time, what this might look like for you in your day, in your week, and how this is going to allow the opportunity for you to take advantage of things and bring joy into your everyday. I'm so excited for you, so let's get to it. Do you wish you had control of your days, that you had a rhythm, but instead feel overwhelmed, scattered, and like there's never enough time? You're in the right place. I'm Danielle, a recovering workaholic, wife, and stay-at-home mom of 2 girls. I've learned how to reclaim my time and find purpose and freedom so I can be present with my kids and feel like myself again. Here, we embrace where we are, but we don't stay there. So if you're ready to trade the chaos for clarity, the guilt for grace, and the endless to-do list for aligned flow, grab the kiddos a snack and toss in that laundry because I know you're multitasking, and let's do this because your time, your purpose, and you matter. Okay, mamas. So planning. Yes, I am saying the word over and over because it is something I used to resist and say that I hated, but actually is something I love. I've always embraced that I didn't even recognize I embraced it. And it is something that is essential, I believe, for moms to take advantage of, especially moms who might be a little bit like me and scattered, hot mess all over the place. Like if you feel like that, this is something that will be so life-changing for you. And even if if you don't feel like you're a complete hot mess all the time, like I used to, then you are still going to benefit from planning. And I think this episode will enlighten you on some things or maybe give you some, good gold nuggets that you can take and use for yourself. So we are going to get into it. I'm going to start with a quote that I shared before on the podcast, but it's so good. It's from Dale Carnegie, and it says, "An hour of planning can save you 10 hours of doing." An hour of planning can save you 10 hours of doing. Y'all, I don't know if that's a proven fact, but I can see why this is because if you are anything like me and you do feel scattered and all over the place, when you have all of these things that are living in your head and you have not taken the time to put them down onto paper to kind of plan out how you're going to get them all done, they can seem weighty. They do seem weighty. They can inflict this chaos on your day that doesn't necessarily need to be there because you are living with all of these things in your head. You know that this to-do list is super long. And even if you've taken the time to write your to-do list down, that can also still cause you overwhelm when you look at it if you haven't taken the extra step to actually plan how you will tackle this to-do list. Because it is true that if you go about your day and if you start to just kind of like this and that, and maybe I'll get this done, maybe I'll get that done, inevitably, you will start doing things that weren't on your to-do list. You will get overwhelmed by the number of things and you will jump all around. And it winds up creating this like chaos that you don't need, this overwhelmed feeling, this stress that is not needed, that could have been prevented. And I could see how it doesn't even have to be an hour. Like, I don't know if I've ever, maybe the first time that I started planning, maybe it took me an hour to do it all this way when I was learning this in my like Tony Robbins coaching, right? Like there was a lot of steps and a lot of things. I'm going to dumb it down for you. I'm going to just give you the tidbits that I believe are the most important, especially as moms. And this can take me as little as 10 minutes now. Right? And it saves me so much time, so much energy, so much heartache when I go about my week, when I can look at the days and know, okay, I can do all of these things that seem like my to-do list is never ending. I can do this. Right? And that's what I want for you. So I'm going to get into kind of how I started to do this and what it looks like, or at least what it used to look like for me on the weekly. Okay. So when I started doing this, basically what I did was I would write down every single thing that I felt like I needed to get done this week. I would take it on a Sunday. I would sit down with my planner and I would just brain dump. Okay. I would brain dump all of the things that I knew I had on my plate for the week or I knew I needed to get done for the week. Right. And then what I would do is I would go and I would go to my calendar, my weekly calendar, and I would sit there and I would put actual appointments. Like if we had a doctor's appointment or if someone had dance or, whatever it was that had to get done. Like this week, we've got like orientation tonight and we've got, different things that have to be done on the day. So you put those actual appointments, things you have to do at a specific day and time, you want to put those on your calendar before you start thinking about the rest. Okay. And then what I would do is I would go back to my to-do list and I would look at, what is the highest priorities? Like what on here absolutely has to get done this week. And I would take those things and I would give them a 1. Okay. If they absolutely have to get done this week, and especially if they have to get done on a specific day, those things get the highest priority, right? Those things, you have to get them done this week because there's going to be a consequence, right? If you do not. For the next ranking, I would usually look at it and say, okay, what things do I really want to get done this week that if I didn't get them done, I would not be happy with myself, right? Like this has to get done this week in my mind, right? Like it's not a essential for this week. There's no like deadline or due date on it. But if I did not get this done, then it would start to like weigh on me. Okay. And those things are going to get the second highest priority. And then I'm going to look at it and say, okay, what are the things that if they didn't get done this week, I wouldn't care. Like, I really want to get it done this week. I feel like I should get it done this week. But if it didn't get done this week, it's really not the end of the world. It is not going to really matter in the grand scheme of things. Those things are going to get a 4, right? Like the lowest priority. And then I would look at it and I would say, okay, is there anything else that like needs to get done this week? I'm going to be a little bit whatever. I might give those things a 3. Like if I'm going to be a little bit like uneasy with them not getting done this week, but they really don't have to, like they don't get a 1 or a 2, but they maybe get a 3. Okay. And because the 4s, they're just things that like tend to fall on your list, right? Like they tend to fall and keep being on your list. Like, you need to get it done. Like I need to organize this drawer, right? Or something like that. I really need to do that. But like, if it doesn't get done, it's not the end of the world and it's going to bug me, but it's really not going to bug me that much. Like if I have it written down on my list, that's enough for me to know, okay, if we get to a certain day and I'm like, oh, I could actually organize that drawer right now, then I can do that, right? And it's written down and it's not weighing on me because I've written it down and it's okay if it moves from week to week to week, right? But it's also okay if I get some time and I know I could fit that thing in, I'll do it, right? So that's kind of how I would go about like prioritizing my to-do list. And then I would look at my week and say, okay, what are the things that have to get done this week? They don't necessarily have an appointment. They don't exactly have a day and time they have to get done. But if you have, let's just say, like this week, we have a birthday party. Like one of my daughters has a birthday party on Saturday. And so I know we have got to get a birthday present and I have to get it before Saturday because the party's in the afternoon, but we have so much going on the rest of the day that if I don't have this in our possession by Friday, then we will be scrambling. It will be a hot mess, right? So I know that has to be done before Friday or on Friday, right? So I might put that on Friday, but I might look at it and say, okay, I'm going to wait to put that on a day until I have seen the rest of what I have going on this week, right? Like, even though I know that's something that has to get done this week, it might not be the first thing I schedule because really it wouldn't matter. Like I may feel like I should get this present today, right? Like I should go ahead and get it done with. It's Monday, or maybe it's Sunday, right? And you're like, I should get this present on Monday because that would make me feel better. But really, in all honesty, if there's other things on your to-do list that you want to get done, and if Friday's actually a better day to get that done or a different day of the week, and then you will be able to see that when you take all of your stuff and, put it on a day, right? And so you don't have to feel pressure. And the pressure is most likely from yourself, right? You don't have to feel pressure to get that done on Monday or on Tuesday, right? You have the whole week to get it done, but you also don't want to put it off until the last minute because you're not going to have time for it on Saturday, right? So that one has a deadline a little bit, but let's play with the week first and see where you want to put it. And typically, what I like to do is I like to have, if I have a bunch of ones in a week, like if there are a bunch of them, I don't like to give myself more than one per day. Like if I have more than 5 ones, like things that have to get done this week, they have like a deadline or whatever, then I'm actually breaking it down further and saying, okay, how long do these ones take? Like how long, like it's going to take a lot longer for me to go out to the store, find a birthday present, buy it, than it is going to like fill out a form that has to be filled out for school, right? Like I can fill out that form in 5 minutes, most likely, right? But if I need to plan a birthday present, like it's going to take me probably an hour. Now, if I'm out and about already, if I'm already going to be near a store on a different day, then actually getting that birthday present could take a lot less time than if I have to leave my house, set out to go get the birthday present, and then come back home, right? And so these are the things that you're able to kind of look at if you plan. Like if you don't plan for your week, if you don't take the time to do this on a Sunday, then you're most likely going to waste time, right? Which brings us back to that quote, like an hour of planning can save 10 hours of doing, because it can take a lot less to do a task if you're piggybacking it off of something else that you already know you need to do. For instance, if you know you have to run another errand or go to the grocery or, go to Target or whatever it is, then you can pick up that birthday present when you are near the store, right? So it can be so advantageous for you to plan because of just that one thing. I want to read another quote by Winston Churchill that says, "Plans are of little importance, but planning is essential." Plans are of little importance, but planning is essential. And you're like, wait, what? How can plans be of little importance when planning is essential? Well, I will tell you how. Because if you take the time to do the planning, and if you listen to my episode on Tuesday, I talked a lot about this reason, or the reasoning behind this particular quote, why I believe it's so true. But it is true that the actual plan, you can pivot and change. Like if you take the time to plan on the front end, then the actual plan that you've planned is of way less importance because you can pivot. Now that you have all of everything laid out, right? The actual plan and the execution of how you planned it is less important than the things that have to get done, right? But when you look at them in such a way where like they are all on your plate, or there's this huge to-do list, or I've got this to get done and I have no idea how I'm going to get it done, then you are living in this state of overwhelm. You are living in this state of decision fatigue, right? Because your brain is already so overloaded with all of the things that you have to do when you have to make decisions or when you have to do your daily life, then things can seem so overwhelming, and your reality is different when you have taken the time to plan. Right? The planning is the important part. The actual plan can change. The actual plan can pivot. The actual plan, you can you have room within this plan because you've taken time to do the planning on the front end. I hope that makes sense. Like you may know that you have all of these ones, right? Like say you have 5 ones this week. And so you're putting them on 5 different days. But say you get to that day and you've done your one, right? But you had put all of these twos on that day and you were like, oh, but this is how this day is looking now. Like this day is shaping up that I can't get those twos done. Then you can think, okay, well, but tomorrow, really all I had scheduled or that I thought I had to do was this. So I could probably push some of my twos. Like if your day or your week starts looking different, if, kids are crazy that day or whatever, and you don't want to tackle this thing, or if an opportunity comes up that, like, hey, we can go to the zoo, like one of your friends texts and, like, hey, we're going to the zoo. Do you guys want to go? And you're like, oh, I've got all this stuff to do or whatever, because it's Monday and you're like, oh, I've got all this stuff to do. But when you think about it, you're like, oh, well, I could do my one in this amount of time. And so really we could take some of those other things and we're going to be fine. So yeah, sure. We'll go to the zoo today and you guys could have a day of fun because you knew ahead of time that you had the time to get everything else done. So even though you planned to do all of these things on Monday, you might be able to pivot and actually take advantage of something that you didn't have the opportunity or wouldn't have had the opportunity to do had you not planned ahead of time. Hopefully that makes sense to you. Another quote I wanted to read from Alan Lakin, it says, planning is bringing the future into the present so you can do something about it now. It's bringing the future into the present. So you're planning for the future, right? But you're bringing it into the present so that you can do something about it now. And what you can do about it now is, like I said, the prioritization. That part is so important because when you can look at all of these to-dos and you haven't prioritized them, you don't know which ones are the most important. You don't know, you haven't taken inventory in your heart, in your head of like, okay, these things are things I have to do, but if they didn't happen, it's not going to be the end of the world. It's not going to really bother me that much if these things don't happen. And so you are able to bring that into the present. You are able to be more present in your days because you already have all of these things written down and you already know the priority, like you already know how important they are to you. That you already know, like if you have a week where you have all these ones and twos, you might know, okay, this is not a week where I can take advantage of opportunities that might come our way. Like I'm going to have to say no a lot this week, right? And so you are able to bring the future into the present by doing this planning. You know now what your week looks like versus feeling like all the time. Because as moms, we know we always have a to-do list that's a mile long, right? So you're always going to feel this pressure and this overwhelm if you haven't taken the time to do the planning, right? Hopefully, this is all sinking in and making sense to you because I know I used to resist this so much. So, I want to end with one more quote, and this one is from Leonard Bernstein. And he says, to achieve great things, two things are needed: a plan and not quite enough time. A plan and not quite enough time to achieve great things, y'all. This is really good news for you as a mom because if you take the time to do the planning, you know that you don't ever have enough time. Like we never feel like we have enough time, right? And so what he means by that, I feel like, is that in order for great things to happen, in order for you to take action on your goals towards what you want for yourself, towards where you want to go, you need a plan, right? And this is the start of that, planning your week, right? We plan that's what we do in the Prioritize Your Purpose coaching, right? I am now calling it a prioritization clarity call that you can do with me. It's just a session where you figure out what is important to you. We pick one thing and you get clear, right? You will leave with so much clarity. And that's what planning has the opportunity to give you. It gives you clarity. It brings joy into your days. You are able to take advantage of opportunities. You are able to free yourself of all of this weightiness that you might feel from all of these things that we have on our plate, right? We always feel like we don't have enough time as moms. We always feel like that. There's never enough time in the day to get done all of the things that we need to get done. But when we take the time to plan, and when you're able to take action on those plans, right? When you take the time to set it all out, to write it all down, to prioritize it, you are able to take advantage of so many more opportunities. You are able to enjoy and be so much more present. And when you do this for your life, it is a whole nother level. When you do this, when you know you want more for yourself and you are feeling that, when you take the time to prioritize your priorities in life, like what you actually want, your values, your strengths, what you're good at, what you want for yourself, what that looks like for you, it is like a whole nother level, right? And so I just want to implore you that try this. Try this. If planning is not something you do on a weekly basis, try it. Try it for your week. See how it goes. I would love to hear about it. Come and email me, Facebook group, whatever you want to do, or set up a prioritization clarity call for yourself, for your life. I will help you with just the planning if that's what you need, but I want so much more for you. And so I want you to get clear about what you want and how to get it. And that's what we will do in this clarity call. So go to prioritizewithpurpose.com, check it out, sign up there, and I will see you right back here next week. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, Mama. If so, please leave a review on Apple Podcasts and then hit share and send this to a mom who needs this in her day. I'll meet you right back here next week. Keep smiling, y'all.